Hey everybody, and welcome to TalkChain, the podcast where we get into all things crypto. My name is Matt, and I'm going solo again today because Rob is actually flying right now, so he can't join me yet, but tomorrow or later today we're actually going to do a joint live podcast with both Rob and I in the same place because he's coming to visit me. So, today I want to get into what's going on with the US Subcommittee hearing on crypto, and it's called Beyond Bitcoin, emerging applications of blockchain technology. So just to start this off, this isn't the same thing at all as the Senate committee hearing that we saw a couple weeks ago. A little bit different in that these aren't regulatory bodies being interviewed by congressional members. So we had instead a few people from all sorts of industries. So this Jack Rand dude, cybersecurity policy, so he was more of a government guy, somebody from an institution on standards and tech, somebody worked at IBM, somebody worked at Walmart, and then a professor who taught in law. So this isn't to the same extent where in the Senate hearing we had regulatory bodies talking about what they might need in terms of regulatory power from the U.S. Senate. So here instead it was really just people getting these guys pretty much explaining blockchain technology and explaining how it could be used in industry and government, and how it's really just like informing them of what it is and what it's not. So I thought this was actually very helpful overall, because a lot of these congressional members, they see the headlines and they don't actually understand the technology or its potential. And I thought that was particularly true for some of these guys. So this Buyer guy at the very beginning, some congressman, he like compared blockchain to special relativity and quantum mechanics. I thought it was kind of funny because they're all technologies, yes, but if you sit down and actually just read the Wikipedia of blockchain or Bitcoin, it's not the craziest concept to really understand the public ledger and how it works. You don't need to know the actual tech behind it to understand it. So I thought that it was funny that a lot of these guys really seem to put no effort into actually learning about the technology at all, or even the basics behind it. They'd rather just be ignorant and have other people tell them why it's good and what it's used for. So so anyway, besides him, I thought everybody else was pretty positive. The overall impression I got was that this is pretty bullish, if anything, for the markets. It was really these government people asking to explain what's up with this tech, how can it be used, and where can the government be helpful and not be an impetus for development of new technology and innovation. So we've seen so far the markets seem to be reacting pretty positively to this. Total market cap is 450 billion with almost double-digit gains across the board. Litecoin for some reason is going to the moon. It's peaked a little bit, but it's still up over about 30% overall in the last 24 hours. Looking at Bitcoin itself with the TA behind it, so both of these lines that I had on the daily chart were broken. So this consolidation phase seems to have been continued until today, and we see that it's broken out to the upside. So I'm actually going to change this line here. Well, not change it, but I'm going to put a new line. So I think this might become resistance since it was support back here. It's probably going to become resistance as we head towards this support, or this other resistance line that I have going on from the peaks that we reached earlier in the year and in late 2017. So I'm predicting, and I'm very bad at predicting, so don't take this as real financial advice, but given the volume behind this jump so far, and we're only like halfway through the candle, I think we're going to be a little bit bullish until we reach about 11,000 or 10,000, and then we might see some more consolidation and a direction choice then. Okay, so back to the actual hearing itself. So it seemed like every single congressman that asked questions pretty much just wanted to know how it could apply to them. So the physicians in the Congressional Committee, and actually just to let you guys know, so it's the Oversight Committee and the Research and Technology Subcommittee that were the Congress members, and yeah. So anyway, they all have a business of some sort, or they work in some area. Like a couple of these congressmen are physicians, so they're very interested in how blockchain could be used for managing health records and how it could be used for them. The other ones were particularly interested in how it could be useful in health and wellness, or in sustainability, or pharmaceuticals. And a lot of the testimony that the members gave, I thought was very, very positive for crypto as an industry. So a lot of people, or the Giannis dude, who was the VP of food safety at Walmart, he really laid out a practical and very easy to understand use case scenario for blockchain. So given that, I think he mentioned that the total revenue of Walmart, about half of it is made up from grocery sales. So obviously food safety is a huge issue for them. And he explained that using blockchain, we could really improve supply chain relations. And if you go back to one of mine and Rob's videos on VE chain, we talk about how their goal is to be able to integrate supply chain communication and make it easier for supply chains to validate information about a product, and make it easier for consumers to know where the product came from. So for him, he was very positive on the idea of blockchains being used in this area and making it easier for Walmart to get higher food safety standards and make it cost less for them. So I thought that was great. They talked about a million different uses for blockchain, and they also talked about how it's very early, and that too much regulation soon are going to stifle innovation. So this was hammered pretty hard, I think, throughout the entire hearing, and I think the Congress people understood that was a thing. Mr. Banks, the congressman in particular, he was very much on the side of, what will government do? What can government do to screw it up, and what can they do to not screw it up? And all the members in the hearing, all the members that were invited to testify, were very much on the side of crypto, saying you don't want to over-regulate too quick. And this is something that we've seen over and over again. And yeah. So other than that, there was really just an example of how blockchain can be used in almost every industry. So this kept being brought up over and over again, and if nothing else, I think it made it clear to people that the blockchain is a technology that's here to stay, and its application is pretty much endless, and the development of this technology moving forward is very important, and government shouldn't get in the way. And they also shouldn't be too quick to lump in cryptocurrencies with crypto assets, and not think that because Bitcoin might threaten the US dollar that they need to regulate all crypto assets. And I think I forget who it was, maybe Jack Moran, the cyber tech guy. He made it very clear that these are different things. Like Bitcoin isn't all a blockchain, and blockchain technology is still very useful, even if you don't like that Bitcoin might threaten, or other cryptocurrencies might threaten the US dollar. So I think all of that was very positive, and this is probably going to lead to a further pump, given that we've seen 2 hearings right now so far that are relatively bullish on the market. I think if anything, the regulation of ICOs that Mr. Claymore from the SEC last week that he talked about, that's really the only thing that I think people need to worry about. But if nothing else, it's going to bring the standard up to the standard that's already been provided for IPOs, and I don't think that's necessarily bad, because just bringing up the standards of what companies and tokens need to bring to the table isn't really going to hurt consumers, and it's not going to really limit the number of ICOs, in my opinion. So overall, I think it's good. I am continuing to hold. I bought Ether, a little bit of Ether on this ride up, but I'm out of money again. So I just keep putting money into crypto as we go up. But gotta wait till the end of the month for that paycheck, and then we'll see from there. But I'm gonna leave it at that. I'm gonna pick up Rob at the airport soon, so should be fun. Thank you very much, everybody, for watching. Rob and I are going to come here as often as we can and break down what's going on in crypto. Hopefully help everybody out so we can all make some money and get out of here unscathed. Please leave us a comment. Let me know what you think of this video. If you hate it, if you like it, give us a like and a subscribe. That would be awesome. And follow me on Twitter at TalkChainPod. I'm on there pretty regularly tweeting, and I'll probably respond to your tweet. So that's good news. And with that, I want to thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you next time.